Hello and welcome to Budding Buzz. I am Amisha Chaudhary.
Hello, this is Hamad Zafar. And to begin with, let's look at the headlines. Headlines: The NDA alliance's lack of data creates fear and confusion among citizens. Akali Dal becomes second ally of the BJP to exit NDA alliance. Prime Minister Narendra Modi delivers historic speech at the 75th edition of the United Nations General Assembly. The NDA alliance has failed to provide data on many critical issues, from the economy to the death of the migrant laborers. This has caused criticism and concern. To know more, let's join our correspondent Palashi.
Yes, Hamad, the opposition is slamming the government left, right, and center. One of the prominent leaders of the Congress party, Shashi Tharoor, has posted a cartoon, and the cartoon is titled The Name Changers. This comes after the center was unable to give data on several questions. When the government was asked how many migrant laborers died during the lockdown, the government said no data available. When they were asked how many doctors died as COVID warriors, the government again said no data available. When they were asked how many salaried employees lost their jobs, the government again said no data available. When asked how many farmers died during the lockdown, the government repeated their answer no data available. When asked how many startups that they funded died and shut down during this COVID lockdown, the government again and again and again said no data available. Now we know that the NDA government knows the power of data. They understand the value of data, and I say so with data. When the NDA government came into power, they introduced a scheme called Ujjwala scheme. Under this scheme, the households which did not have a gas connection were provided with one. Now, how did the government know that they didn't have gas connections? Due to data. Now, the government even knew that these connections were black marketed, so they ensured that the beneficiaries get the amount directly in their bank accounts. What helped them? The data. So, the government definitely knows how to use data. So, the question arises, why did they not collect this data? Or did they really collect it and are they just not giving it out? This is a conspiracy, we'll have to wait and watch.
Amidst the political turbulence, Shiromani Akali Dal, one of the oldest NDA alliance, has parted their ways with BJP over the farm bill issue. Let's speak to our correspondent Ashwini to know more.
The Shiromani Akali Dal has quit the NDA alliance over the farm bills issue. According to the party, the decision has come on the grounds of the centre's stubborn refusal to give statutory legislative guarantees to assured marketing of farmers' crop on MSP and their continued insensitivity towards Punjabi and Sikh issues. Whereas it is also been said that it is the decision taken by the party to preserve their vote bank. In the year 1998, the late Vajpayee had ran a coalition of 24 parties NDA government. But we eventually saw a lot of parties quit the NDA alliance. Recently in 2019, Shiv Sena withdrew their support from NDA over the issue of power sharing. In 2018, TDP withdrew their support from the NDA grouping on the issue of special category status to Andhra Pradesh. And thus, the Shiromani Akali Dal is the third major ally to leave the grouping. Well, if we talk about numbers, BJP stands strong with 303 seats, and the political analysts feel that this is the reason why BJP is not much worried about its allies. Now, the politics in Punjab has witnessed a huge curve. We have Congress with the likes of Amrinder Singh, we have BJP, they're having their influence on the urban population, and now the Shiromani Akali Dal and the Aam Aadmi Party probably targeting the same vote bank. So what happens now next in this race is for all of us to watch.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in his first campaign in 2014, had promised Indians a clean Ganga. He has taken a step towards this direction by inaugurating 6 sewage plants in Uttarakhand under the Namani Gange project. To know more, let's join our correspondent Amisha.
Yes, Prime Minister Narendra Modi openly criticized opposition for launching agitation in land and farm sectors. While addressing audience, Prime Minister said that they have moved forward with new approach and thinking and have not kept Namani Gange mission only to cleanliness of Ganga. Number of sewage treatment plants have been built to prevent dirty water falling into river Ganga, which can meet the need of coming 10 to 15 years. He also pointed out Ministry of Jal Shakti, which is engaged in providing fresh water to different families in the country. More than 1 lakh families have been connected with pure drinking facility under this mission. In all, 30 projects have been completed in Uttarakhand for taking care of pollutions near 17 towns in Ganga. Haridwar and Rishikesh zone contributes to 80% of wastewater load, which plays a very significant role in keeping Ganga clean. Prime Minister also inaugurated Ganga Avlokan, first museum on Ganga, which is dedicated to showcase biodiversity, culture, rejuvenation and activities practiced on the river. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed 75th session of General Assembly. He questioned role of UN in fight against COVID-19 pandemic and how long India will be kept out of the decision-making process. Let's speak to our correspondent Hamad to know more.
In his pre-recorded message to the UN General Assembly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was quick to criticize the UN over its poor COVID response. He further asked how India still had not been inducted into the UN Permanent Security Council, as India was one of the UN's founding members in 1945, which is 28 years before the People's Republic of China was even recognized by the UN. The 75th edition of the UN General Assembly was virtual. Instead of having all world leaders in New York discussing the most pressing issues, they were asked to send in pre-recorded messages. In another thinly veiled attack on China, Prime Minister Narendra Modi stated how one country could not be the world supply chain. He further emphasized how India could play a key role in the development and distribution of the COVID vaccine. Although this speech may have voiced many of the frustrations other nations would have had with the UN, it still had its skeptics. This speech comes at a time when India ranks second in the number of COVID infections and has also seen a significant dip in its economy. Along with this, NGOs such as Amnesty International have been forced to shut down because their bank accounts have been frozen and they've been hounded by the government. Hence, questioning the UN's relevance at such a time does not go down well with many. Sanjay Raut, a senior leader of the Shiv Sena and a member of parliament, met with ex-Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. Is the NCP Shiv Sena Congress alliance in danger? To know more, let's join our correspondent Manjusha.
राजकीय वर्तुळातील सर्वात मोठी बातमी समोर येते. राजनीतीतील वैरी जे रोज एकमेकांवर चिखलफेक करत असतात त्यांच्यामध्येच आता गुप्त बैठक झाल्याची माहिती समोर येते. विरोधी पक्षनेते देवेंद्र फडणवीस व शिवसेनेचे खासदार संजय राऊत यांच्या भेटीनंतर राजकारणामध्ये पुन्हा एकदा भूकंप येणार असल्याच्या चर्चा राजकीय वर्तुळामध्ये रंगत होत्या. भाजपचे नेते प्रवीण दरेकर यांनी मात्र या चर्चेला पूर्णविराम देत ही अराजकीय भेट असल्याचं स्पष्ट केलं आहे. काही दिवसांपूर्वीच मुंबईतल्या ग्रँड हयात हॉटेलमध्ये फडणवीस आणि संजय राऊत यांच्यामध्ये भेट झाली आणि या नेत्यांमध्ये तब्बल 2.5 ते 3 तास चर्चा झाल्याची माहिती मिळते. शिवसेनेचे मुखपत्र असलेल्या सामना वृत्तपत्राच्या मुलाखतीसाठी संजय राऊत आणि देवेंद्र फडणवीस यांची भेट झाली असल्याचं प्रवीण दरेकर यांनी नमूद केलं आहे. व याच नंतर देवेंद्र फडणवीस यांनी प्रसारमाध्यमांशी संपर्क साधत असं म्हटले की ही भेट अराजकीय होती. यामध्ये कोणत्याही प्रकारचं राजकारण दडलेलं नाही आहे. व याच दरम्यान भाजप व शिवसेना एकत्र येणार का हा प्रश्न निर्माण झाला होता. परंतु आम्हाला सरकार पाडण्याची घाई नाही आहे, अंतर्गत पद्धतीने सरकार पडेल तेव्हा बघू असं देवेंद्र फडणवीस यांनी म्हटलं. व तसेच संजय राऊत आणि देवेंद्र फडणवीस यांच्या भेटीनंतर 2च दिवसांनी शरद पवार आणि मुख्यमंत्री उद्धव ठाकरे यांच्यामध्येही बैठक झाल्याचं समजतंय. आता या बैठकींमध्ये राजकारण दडले की आणखी काही आहे लवकरच कळेल.
The war between Azerbaijan and Armenia rages on, leading to several casualties. Our correspondent Vishwajit brings us more on that.
जी हमेशा मध्य एशिया के 2 देशों आर्मेनिया और अजरबैजान के बीच नागोर्नो काराबाख को लेकर जारी जंग अभी जारी है. दोनों देशों ने अब एक दूसरे के इलाके में हमले करने का आरोप लगाया है. ये पहली बार नहीं है जब अजरबैजान और आर्मेनिया आपस में लड़े हों. इससे पहले जब युद्ध हुआ था तो 2 वर्ष तक युद्ध चला था जिसमें 30,000 से ज़्यादा लोग मारे गए थे. ऐसे हालात दोबारा ना हो इसके लिए हर देश अपील कर रहा है कि हिंसा को रोकी जाए, चाहे वो रूस, अमेरिका या ईरान हो. हर कोई युद्ध रोकने की बात कर रहा है. लेकिन तुर्की इसके पक्ष में नहीं है, वो अजरबैजान का समर्थन कर रहा है। अगर आर्मेनिया की बात करें तो उसके साथ रूस है, मतलब दो छोटे छोटे देशों के लड़ने के पीछे दो बड़े देश हैं। अजरबैजान ने वीडियो फुटेज जारी करके दावा किया है कि उसने युद्ध क्षेत्र में आर्मेनिया के 2 टैंक उड़ा दिए हैं। वहीं आर्मेनिया ने कहा है कि उसने अजरबैजान के 80 आर्म्ड व्हीकल्स, 49 ड्रोन और 4 हेलीकॉप्टर बर्बाद कर दिए हैं। आर्मेनिया ने अपने 18 साल के ऊपर के सभी नागरिकों को देश छोड़कर नहीं जाने को कहा है और युद्ध के कारण अब तक 100 से ज़्यादा लोगों की मौत हो चुकी है और सैकड़ों लोग घायल हैं। अब देखना शेष रहेगा कि क्या होता है आगे, क्योंकि यह युद्ध व्यापक रूप भी ले सकता है और इसमें और भी कई देश शामिल हो सकते हैं।
Well, that's it for now. Stay tuned to the channel.
Until then, goodbye.